I guess it's working, yeah. That's working. All right, so we're recording here. I'm on the road this morning. It's a Sunday morning, and I'm headed to my friend OSJ's first Sunday of the month gathering. Headed down to West Boylston, Massachusetts. And this is my first one of these. Not because I have any philosophical problems with showing up. It's just I've been doing other things. My riding this year has kind of taken, I don't know, a different. Yeah, my riding this year has taken a different tack since I didn't go to Alaska. I've done mostly local riding, and most of it's been on my Intruder. It's just a bike that lends itself, I think, more to local rides, and I've enjoyed it. Obviously, the thing I like doing most is touring the United States of America, and this year has not been good for that for me. Hopefully next year will be a better year. I was supposed to go down to, it's October 1st, by the way, 2023. I was supposed to go to Virginia last week and meet up with a guy who was initially a viewer and has become a friend. He lives in Alabama, and we were going to meet in Virginia and then ride that area down there. But unfortunately, he's going through some personal stuff right now, and really it didn't allow for the time for him to do that trip. So I guess I could have done it alone, but I've come to decide that I don't much like riding alone, at least for any length of time. I can do about 5 to 7 days. 7 days is pushing it, and I just I had no desire to hit out for a week alone. Which brings me to something I'd like to talk about this morning. And that is some of the problems that I have come to realize are associated with being an older rider. I'm going to be 70 years old in February 2024. And other than my friend Carl, who lives out in Arizona that I've ridden with, I've done 2 cross-country trips with him, it's hard to find somebody to ride long distances of long durations at my age. There's not a lot of 70-year-old guys that are doing that like to do that, have the stamina to do that, or the desire to do that at this point, I guess. And finding a contemporary is a bit tough these days. Younger guys don't have the time or the money generally to do what I like to do. And unfortunately, my 2 of my sons ride. One's in Hawaii. Obviously, he's not going to come home for a cross-country ride. And the other one is trying to start a life with his wife, and really also kind of doesn't have the time. I actually had a ride planned with him for when he came back from Europe. I was hoping we could spend at least a few days, maybe 3 or 4 days out on the road, but it just didn't work out. And although it made me a a little bit sad. I understood it. He had other priorities right then, and I'm glad I raised a son who can prioritize like that. So I realized that the population of people who want to ride with me gets smaller and smaller every year. And I don't, I don't say that happily. You know, when you, when you, I'm going to shut this off and I'll start up the other one if I can. So anyway, you know, when I was not able to ride, all I could do is dream of riding, and all of those dreams included long distance rides, which I've managed to do. I thank God for the chance and the ability to do those. But you think that when you retire, it's going to be your golden years. You're going to travel all over the United States, and I've done a bit of that. But it's, as I said, it's hard to find people that are willing or able or financially able to or time-wise able to spend 30, 40 days on the road. And as I say, I can do it, but I really don't enjoy doing it alone. It's really a much better experience, especially with the advent of these Cenas. It's a much better experience with someone else. You can talk all day, and even though you're seeing beautiful things, it's you have a bit of companionship on the road. You know, when you pull in at night, you have somebody to talk to, share dinner with, go over the experiences of the day you just spent and of the day you have in front of you. So, honestly, being an older rider has not really turned out the way I had hoped it would, or manifested itself in a form that isn't very lonely. I don't know if you've traveled alone, car, motorcycle. It's a lot better to share the experience. Now, I'm hoping that next year when my wife Sharon retires, that we'll be able to do a bit of that together. I'm not sure that we're going to be traveling on a motorcycle. Possibly and hopefully we'll travel with a motorcycle. And I would love to show her some of the things that I've seen in my travels, and wished that she was with me at the time I saw those, but I'm certainly willing to go back and look at them again. They were all beautiful. There's nothing more beautiful than God's creation. And I hope we get to share that. We'll definitely get to share it, I would say, at least in a vehicle. But as I say, I have this kind of hope that we're able to travel with a motorcycle, either on a trailer or on the back of a truck or in a van, something. And that when we get to these places, we can spend 3 or 4 days and just kind of cruise around and check things out on a bike. I still haven't done Beartooth. I'd like to see that. I haven't done all of the Going to the Sun Road in Glacier National Park. I'd love to do the trip to Alaska on a motorcycle. But if I had to relegate myself to doing it in a car, it wouldn't be any less beautiful. I'm not sure that it would be as a full experience, but I'm sure it'd be fine. Plenty of people do it. And so what do you people think? I mean, people who are my age or around my age, do you find that traveling companions are harder and harder to come by? Motorcycle traveling companions. That's what I'm talking about. Uh, and even groups. You can join groups and take day rides and stuff like that. But that's not really what I enjoy. I don't enjoy group rides. Those local extended rides, a day or two or three, I could easily do those. But I've done all of those before, around here. If you figure that I could travel 500-600 miles a day on my motorcycle easily and comfortably, but if you if you travel 500 or 600 miles in a day, you're going to have 500 or 600 miles on the way back. That's already 2 days, and sure you can ride around for another 2 or 3 in different areas. I don't know. I guess that would be okay, but it's just not the same. So, do you have trouble finding traveling companions at an older age? Are you a young guy looking forward to the days when you can travel at will extensively, that you have the money and the time? I want you to consider that it'll be a lot nicer to have a companion. Start looking now. Um, I was going to take back roads all the way down to West Boylston, but I got a bit of a later start than I wanted to. That kind of always happens to me. And maybe I'll come back the back roads on the way home.